Hi again. We apologize for the technical issue. There's a bit of an audio issue. So again, let's go back to the topic. So joining me is Encik Wan, who is the Managing Director of EduCity, and we have Puan Nirmala, who is the Manager of Financial Education in AKPK. So thanks for dropping by. Perhaps the both of you would like to introduce yourself to the audience. Puan Nirmala?
Hi, good morning everybody. Thank you for waiting. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
All right, great. Okay, thank you so much for waiting. I'm Nimala. You can just call me Mala. I'm from AKPK. We are a subsidiary of Bank Negara Malaysia actually. So we provide financial education, financial counseling, and debt management program for those who actually need our problem. So I've been here with AKPK for 11 years. This is my 11th year here. I started off my career in a bank, financial institution for 9 years, and then I joined AKPK here. So I've been in this financial industry to close to about 20 years now, and very passionate about financial education because I solely believe that financial knowledge and financial skills are something very essential for our livelihood, for our sustainability, and we have to get this grip as early as we can. As how early can we practice, because I'm sure one would agree with me that during our days we didn't have all this that time, and yeah, we made our mistakes, we realized, and then we came, but we want to share our knowledge and our experience with all of y'all here, and hoping that we could help everyone here to have a better, more sustainable livelihood. Thank you.
All right, so that's just a very long experience within the financial industry. So let's get to know Encik Wan, our Managing Director from EduCity. Hi, Encik Wan.
Hi, morning. From Iskandar Putri, Johor. So I'm the Managing Director of EduCity. We are about 305 acres in Iskandar Putri in Johor, where we have 7 institutions and 2 schools operating here. The easiest landmark is, of course, Legoland. So Legoland is down the road.
Of course, Legoland.
So yeah, so this is my 13th job in 25 years. So unlike Nirmala, who's really great in the vertical and financial industry, I've been in 5 different industries, and hopefully I can share my experience with you.
All right. So I think now that we are a bit familiar with the speakers, so let's take a look at the screen. So here we have actually listed 8 steps towards financial adulting. So let's have our speakers' thoughts about this. Maybe Encik Wan would like to start. What are your thoughts, Encik Wan, about these 8 steps towards financial adulting?
Okay, I think, this is a great start, because I think when you start thinking about anything, it's good to have, a guideline or, a framework for you to think. So the 8 steps, I think: invest in yourself, save your 1,000 ringgit, pay off your high interest debt, emergency saving, protecting yourself, growing your wealth, the big purchase, and building wealth and giving back. I particularly like this last point. It's a great framework to start thinking about how you manage your finances. But I think we'll be going in detail a little bit more one by one, so we'll save it for that.
Yes. So just like you say, the 8 steps towards financial adulting is one of the guidelines that we, part of the team, we always promoted to the youth segment, to the kids. So we always told them that, follow this guideline, and inshallah, you will be a financially responsible adult lah. So looking at the 8 steps, right? So investing in yourself. So that is one of the, I would say, first steps in the guideline. So investing in yourself is a very, very broad topic. So I just wanted to know from either one of our speakers, so what do you suggest for the youth to equip themselves when we talk about investing in yourself? Maybe Puan Nimala can start first.
Yeah, sure. Okay. It is actually the most important thing, if I would say, from the 8 step is investing in yourself first. Because as we mentioned, a lot of things are technical down there, but you have to have that drive factor. I always believe that drive, that motivation of why you need to do that needs to be there first. You need to have that code. If not, doing budgeting, doing saving 1,000, doing all that, you would not do it. You know how to do it, but you would not do it. So how do you get that thing? I love this quote that you have to invest in yourself to say that it's only me that can change me, no one else. So I always love this quote by William Ernest Henley: I am the master of my fate and I am the captain of my soul. So this is the first investment you do. Believe in yourself.
That's very
only
deep.
You can be changed and only you can change it. So investing in yourself, then only you go towards, okay, I want to make a change. That's the first investment. I want to make that change. So we always look at investment in terms of knowledge. Okay, I want to invest in this. I want to do this. I want to learn that. I want to learn so many things. There's so many things out there. But if you are not consistent and if you're not focused on what you want to achieve, you'll be, how do I say, a jack of all and master of none. You will not succeed, or you will not find, or you'll just be, even sometimes wasting. I wouldn't say wasting, no, nothing is wasted, but you would not go to where you want to go. Right? So always believe, invest in your emotions first. Invest in the skill where you are focused, you know what you want to achieve, put in your goals, right? Then you look for the knowledge. Knowledge is everywhere, that we would say. Yeah. So we got, when we talk about investing in positive ways, these are the things you can do this part to get yourself motivated. First thing, your social media, screen it now. And like all the positive things, like pages that can educate you, because these are the things that you look through first. Yeah, I know you guys are all Insta guys and not Facebook guys, or maybe Snapchat, because I was told that Facebook is for aunties and uncles already. So yeah, me too.
We are in a TikTok era nowadays.
Yeah, so we want you to like pages from AKPK, like pages from BNA. Hey, look, we're happening too. We got a lot of happening articles and happening stories coming out for you guys. So as you scroll down, these things just pop up, So like all these pages here, keep positive things with you. Then only you get motivated. Choose wise friends. Yeah. So invest in your friends, because your friends are very important. So go with friends who are very progressive thinking, very positive thinking, looking forward. Not the one that's talking about everybody in the block. Not the one that you say A, he says no, negative A. So you've got to keep yourself motivated. Yeah. Find a mentor. If you are very keen into entrepreneurship, for example, I know a lot of you guys want to be on your own. You don't want to be a boss for others, but don't jump into it first. Find a mentor. A mentor is very important. A good mentor is very important. So look at your seniors who are doing relatively something that you really like, admire, speak with them, say, find a guy, you have your lecturers, choose a good mentor who could keep encouraging you. Or if you want to get into entrepreneurship, look for those the field that you really like to, and go. A good mentor is very important, actually, especially if you're entering into entrepreneurship. Yeah, set goals. I've mentioned to you, set goals. Have these goals. What is your long-term goals? What is your short-term goals? What do you want to achieve in a year? What do you want to achieve in 10 years? Put this in mind. This is a dream board. So I always say, invest first in yourself. Yeah, put these goals, put these things, and then obviously practice gratitude. We did mention about saying thank you. Good that we are here. We have this opportunity to study. Good that you are here. Is glad, so and then when you move to knowledge, okay, like say you want to learn about finances, go with the right body. There's so many things on the net now, so make sure it's the right this thing. If anybody is going to teach you, I can teach you to be a millionaire in a day, please be careful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go with the right regulators. Bank Negara has a lot of learning. AKPK, we have our learning portal, power.akpk.org.my. There are a lot of free courses you can learn online there with us. Yeah. So and take this opportunity also to keep learning new skills. Always keep learning new skills. There's so many free courses now actually offered for youth. Yeah. And I like this, when you're learning all this, don't forget, learn a new language. It really helps you in a lot of ways. Knowing an extra language is always an advantage, and I always believe in that. So my summary when it comes to investing in yourself is just believe in yourself. Believe that you want to make a change. Believe that this is what you want to achieve. You are the master of your fate, right?
Yeah.
The captain of your soul. So believe in that. And then you have that motivation. You have to keep consistency of that. There are a lot of challenges in life that will like say, oh, I want to give up. Whatever I do is a failure. It's a failure now, but it will be a success tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So then you go towards, okay, if I want to improve my finances, look for the right bodies, make sure your pages, your social media are filled with a lot of educated, positive teachings and all that. So that keeps you going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Yeah, I like your comment about creating your own dream board. I had that myself. So I just got married, by the way. So when I got married, so me and my partner, we set up this dream board. What we wanted to achieve. So that was something really, really connected with me. So let's have in Cik Wan. Cik Wan, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'd probably like to pick on a couple of things that Nimala said, because the first thing I think really important is you need to surround yourself with the right people. Choose your friends wisely. And I think that's one of the best advice I've ever gotten before. Because if you want to be better, surround yourself with people who's better than you, and then the learning actually takes place. So this is one of the things, like what's being said. Don't surround yourself with things that are toxic. Same thing. Don't surround yourself with people who are toxic. So find people who can inspire you, and find people who you can learn from. So starting from investing in yourself is actually, in a way, you are making your base secure. So if you can make your base secure by having these right relationships, and as mentioned, by having the right knowledge and access to the right knowledge, then you will have a good trajectory to start thinking, okay, where do I go next? Rather than be very, very confused about where and what to do next. Actually, I would really, to all you young guys out there, Twitter, Facebook, etc., is great for social interactions, but it's also a fantastic platform for you to get all the good knowledge as well. If you subscribe to if you're into IT, there's Wired, there's CNET, there's a lot of stuff, and it will be part of the feed that you read each and every day. If you want to be good in doing business, subscribe to an entrepreneur website and things like that, and then you get all these good feeds every day. So it's how it actually doesn't matter which platform you use. All these platforms have access to good knowledge. And learning is not only in the classroom. Learning can take place anywhere. So learn from your friends, like Nimala said. Learn from your mentors. Learn from your normal platforms that you already use, which is whether it's Instagram, Twitter, social. I was surprised how much you can learn from TikTok, because I recently got onto TikTok, and I could actually learn how to do a lot of things on Excel by people who's just teaching. Okay, here's quick shortcuts in Excel. Correct. And here's quick DIY tips. So the platform is your choice, but focus on good knowledge so that you have a secure base to invest in yourself.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on the TikTok part. Actually, a lot of people have this big stigma about TikTok. They're saying TikTok is just for entertainment, but if you like certain things that are very educational, and then your feed will be full with educational items. Like myself, I started my TikTok during MCO. So during MCO, I started my financial literacy TikTok, and it went up really, really high. So I'm glad to be able to share that knowledge, but you're right. So you have to surround yourself with the right people so that you can improve yourself to be a better person. So looking back at this 8 steps towards financial adulting, right, you can see that one of the pillars of this 8-step is actually emergency funds. So I understand how important is emergency fund is, but maybe I wanted to know from our speakers, what are the criteria of basically having a good emergency funds? So any thoughts, Ponimala?
It's always it's like a mantra or formula in financial planning that is good to have a 3 to 6 months emergency fund for your expenses. So meaning to say, let's say you spend for yourself just expenses, and we're looking at key expenses, you need about 2,000 ringgit a month. So ideally, you should have at least 3 to 6 months of this fund as your emergency fund, so that in case there is maybe a job loss, or maybe there's some uncertainty towards your income, you can still sustain for the next 3 months or 6 months until you find a replacement of our income, or a job, so that you can still sustain. So that is ideally mentioned in any financial planning education. But emergency is just beyond, it's just not job loss, it's just not uncertainty of income, but it also involves medical. It also involves house, car repairs. In fact, I would say the tiny things, car repairs is one of the key things that many people start off debt, because we have seen in AKPK when we look into debt restructuring, when we really look into people's problem, we have seen many of them started off with using their credit cards extensively, mainly a lot when they had emergencies like car repairs, medical, when they didn't have enough protection, when they had to buy something or spend something or sign as a deposit. So that's when it all started. So hence why we say having this extra cash is so important. It's always mentioned, but the factor is how to have that extra cash when the one I have is not enough. So that goes back to the core. I want to let you all know one secret here. There's one secret about money. It will never be enough. Trust me, it will never be enough. So the moment you get an increment, the moment you say, I'm going to save next year because I'm going to get an increment, trust me, next year you'll be visiting the high-end coffee shop more than you are saving, because you will upgrade your lifestyle first. That's what we do. The moment we get a little bit extra cash, we want to change the car. The moment we get a little bit extra cash, we want to upgrade our lifestyle. We change the way. It's okay. I mean, how long you want to be where you are, it's okay to do that. But
that's more like a human nature to always upgrade yourself, right, Ponimala?
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. But you got to go back to the core to check on your emergency. So how do you do it is, every time you receive a salary or income, try to save first for emergency. At least you have at least 3 months, at least you have about 6,000 for emergency. That's good enough. So keep it not in your savings account. Savings account don't grow for you, at least in an FD. You can keep it somewhere where there is certain higher returns that you can get from that. So, and this money is purely emergency. So when Raya comes, it's not emergency. When Diwali comes, it's not emergency. Those are things that you already know. Okay, so this is purely emergency. You got to keep it. For big things, you got to keep at least small cashes with you, because you can say medical is no problem. I got protection, I got insurance, I got this. But what if that particular thing happened and your insurance does not cover that, your protection does not cover that? So you need this small cash. So how you start off is, every time you get a salary, take aside a certain portion, keep it aside for emergency. Keep aside in an account where it's not easy for you to access, because we are if it's in your savings account, your ATM card is there, it's not your fault. The ATM calls you, so it's not your fault. So you got to move it to places where you don't really, you can actually, it's difficult. Like maybe you put it in FD, stash away. You can, like for me, I put it away in my children's account because they don't have ATM card in their account. So I move it to all their names. So if I want to withdraw, I would have to go to the bank and queue up. But let me tell you from personal experience, saving this cash as much as we can has certainly helped me during emergency times in not looking for debt. So it is a very critical thing, a very important thing. At least start off, put a target to yourself. At least in this 1 year, can I get to save at least 1,000, try. Even a ringgit a day,
Correct.
you can have 365 ringgit in a year, so try for that.
Yeah. So I completely agree with you, especially talking about emergency funds. I just started working a couple of years ago, 4 years ago exactly. So, when I was first starting out, emergency funds is something that on top of my mind, but it's rather difficult to collect. And every year I had to top up my emergency funds because, when your salary raises, salary naik, then you have to top up your emergency funds as well. So, okay, so Puan Nimala actually mentioned just now about protection for the youth. So I think this is a very interesting topic for the youth. And it is also one of the pillars for financial adulting. So I wanted to direct this question to Encik Wan. So, as a youth, a first-time jobber, usually what type of insurance plan should a youth get first?
Okay. Actually, my son is going through this right now. He's just starting to work, so I'm also advising him. And I will advise to anybody said the first thing you do when you start working is get your life insurance. Get some form of insurance. Normally, when you work in a company, there will be medical coverage. But if you want, if you don't get a good medical coverage, you may want to also, invest in a medical insurance. But the life insurance is the basic thing. And the good thing about insurance is when you start working, the premium is low, and then it will just collect, and it's sort of a forced saving, like Nimala was saying. You got to put your money somewhere where it's not accessible. So insurance is one of those things. So apart from putting aside money, which you can claim back, at the end of the whole tenure of insurance, it also protects you should you have accidents and things like that. So to me, easily the best investment you can make when you start working is actually put into life insurance. So there's many products out there. You should shop around, and I'm sure Maybank will be very happy to talk to you about their own offerings. But it's one of the things you have to seriously do very early on. I just want to emphasize a point as well. Let's put it this way: we're not disciplined. Most people are just not. I think Brazil, you said that you put aside emergency funds. I can tell you, most of the people I know don't do that, but it's so important. And the thing is, always start with small increments. I mean, if you're earning, put aside 50 ringgit first, or put aside 100 ringgit, and you won't feel it so much. And once you start doing it as a habit, and putting it in a place like what was mentioned, don't put it at your normal drawing accounts, because that's going to finish very, very, very fast. So put it somewhere else in an account that you won't normally have access to. Then it will start building up, and it's really nice for you to get your statement and say, oh, actually I am starting to build up on my savings. So get your insurance, put aside some money. First 2 steps you have to do.
Okay, so that is a very interesting answer. So I guess you're right, you have to build that habit, and life insurance is definitely something very important. So for the next question I have is still about insurance as well, since we are on the topic of insurance. So let's say, since I'm already married, so let's have this assumption that any youth outside there that wanted to get married in the future, so when they are about to get married, what kind of insurance plan should a youth get before getting married? So Puan Nimala, any thoughts?
Okay, getting married is a serious topic, and what most couples fails to do, we discuss everything, where to have the wedding, where to stay, where to this, but many of us fail to discuss the most important thing, is the money, money issues. Yeah. So what is it? How are we going to save? What are our common financial goals? I like your thought, Razif. You both share a dream board. That's really very good. And that's something like we should really look into and say that, okay, what is our financial goals as family? When do we want to buy a house? So medical insurance comes in the same thing. So as we are moving towards a larger commitment now, I would say. So we started off with our life. I totally agree. Yeah, we started off with our life I totally agree with Chip One. But now as we are moving towards maybe another part I would add on is when you want to take medical insurance protection, yes, definitely you will see your company protects you or not, yes, to a certain extent. But there's also another factor you have to look into is your family history. Yeah, if your family history has a strong line of critical illness like diabetes and high blood pressure, these are illness that's very genetically transferred. So I'm not saying no, you have a good lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, you can avoid all that, yeah. But those are things that you need to be careful of because once these two disease comes in, it's very hard to get medical protection already at later stage. So you may want to look into all this when you decide to take a medical protection. You can start small. You can start into a small one as in a family. So when you're getting married also, you are looking into both each other's family tree. Family tree plays a lot of factor here in determining, yeah. So you want to look and then you want to start off with a good medical protection actually, because the younger you take, the better it is, the cheaper it is, and then it has a wider coverage. You can start off low because you're going to look at your budget also. We don't want you to overprotect and then have 50% of your income going for insurance premium as well. That will lead you into deeper problems, yeah? So ideally it's between 10% that you are paying for your premium between your income. So you got to really see which is important, yeah? So if your life is covering for critical illness and all, yes, that's good. Then of course, medical treatments you may want to add on to what you have right now, or you start off with something basic, yeah? So you can add on, because maybe when you change companies, or maybe you want to start off on your own later on in your life, then no company is going to cover for you. So then you can add on to this, yeah? So you want to look at medical coverage. And of course, as you start off a family, there's of course you want to look into, do they cover pregnancy? Do they cover pregnancy related? Because a lot of company insurance will not cover pregnancy related this thing. You must check what you're covered for. The other thing I want to make I want to stress out here is please understand what you are covered for. Yeah, please do understand your medical, your insurance, your life, know what it is covered for, know what is the amount, because we're only concerned about the end amount. We are not concerned about the details of it. And the details, the finer the print are, the smaller it is, the more you got to concentrate on that. So talk to your agent, your insurance agent, ask them, okay, what do I get with this policy? What is my coverage? Take a piece of paper, write that down and put it on top of your coverage, because what you listen at the first, you may forget down the road and then you wouldn't know where to look for. The document is so complicated. So whatever you need to know, any agreement, this is always my advice, is any housing loan agreement, hire purchase agreement, all this, ask the person you're dealing with, what are the key points when what is covered for what is, write down in your understanding, put it in front of your policy, and make sure your policies are all well kept in places that you know where it is, and the next of kin of yours know where it is. That's also important, yeah? So you may want to look at medical insurance first when you're getting married. Also, maybe after marriage, one of you might resign, especially the women may have to stay at home, take care of kids. Sometimes they do opt for being a housewife or a freelancer. So then, do you protect the housewife or do you protect this? So remember that the sole breadwinner needs to be protected first, yeah. If your income is limited, yeah. So how you put in your priority. So ensure the sole breadwinner is protected first. Okay, then of course having excess cash is good to always protect everybody in the family, because especially in terms when it comes to medical life. So at least we have something savings in the future, yeah. But the key thing is know what you want to protect, know how you want to protect, discuss in the family. You want to do joint protection, there's also ways I think you can discuss with your agent, and ensure that it is within your affordability in the premium. Because this is another thing, sorry, a bit out of here, but this is the common thing that we see is people use their credit cards to pay their premium. So they don't budget for this amount. It continuously add on to their debts. They don't realize it because it's credit card, and then they just pay the minimum there, and that accumulates. Yeah. So if you are planning to take insurance protection, takaful, which is very good and very encouraged, but ensure that the affordability within your cash flow affordability, yeah, not your credit card affordability.
Okay, I think that's a very good point. I honestly am learning as well, especially about the credit card paying for your premium. That's quite surprising, I would say, info for me. Okay, so getting back to the 8 pillars of financial adulting, if we realize throughout the journey of a young adult, there are 3 big life decisions, which is, of course, marriages. That's, of course, number 1. Number 2, we would have the first car. And then number 3, we will have our first home. All right. So these 3 life big decision, house, car, and marriage, how do you think a youth should go about this decision? Maybe Cik Wan can start first.
So in ideal situation, get married with a person who has a car and a house.